Hi, my name is Nigel Taylor, and my favourite bit of tech is the one that changed the world, the modern smartphone. The modern smartphone is a personal computer in your pocket, facilitating all of your social media, streaming and shopping needs. Plus it's a camera, a GPS, and there are thousands of other apps that have been specifically developed to work on its interface. The one thing we seem to use it for less and less is making actual phone calls. This is the story of the device that went from being a novelty item come status symbol for market traders to the preferred method of communication used by none other than the President of the United States of America. The first mobile phones to use a cellular network appeared in the 1970s. Back then they were called car phones, as they were so big they needed a car to transport them.
Through the 80s, they got smaller, but they were still, for the most part, nothing more than status symbols. Hit it, Tubbs.
But by the 90s, they had started to become a practical means of communication for long-distance truck drivers, salespeople, and tradies. Back in the 90s, when reality TV was just emerging and I was working at the 7 Network, everyone was talking about the next big merger of tech devices, how our home computer and our TV and our DVDs and VCRs were all going to merge together in one bit of tech. But that never happened. Instead, we got these Frankenstein machines that combine DVDs with TVs, VCRs with DVDs, and whatever the hell this is.
It's alive!
Mobile phones hadn't really figured in this tech device consolidation, but they were getting smaller. And by the end of the 90s, a company in Finland had started marketing their phones to a whole new demographic that had been completely ignored. Young people.
You blasted kids! Why didn't you mind your own business?
So the mobile moved on from being a purely practical device to a desirable fashion statement.
So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999.
Coming to the end of the millennium, it seemed that everyone was convinced that the world was going to end. This was because after midnight on December 31st, 1999, our computers wouldn't know what date it was. But thanks to years of preparation and lots of hard work by IT people all around the globe, the world didn't end. But then everyone thought it had just been a hoax. As the new millennium dawned, so too did a new piece of tech. And in 2001, a computer company decided to reinvent the Walkman. And the iPod was born.
There it is, right there.
At first seemingly unrelated to the development of the smartphone, it pioneered compact batteries, memory and CPUs that were a step in the right direction. And a familiar marketing strategy that targeted everybody who was anybody.
Technologic. Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it.
Coincidentally perhaps, that same year, Japan, the country that invented the Walkman, also launched the world's first 3G network. With 2 more Gs than 1G, this was the first mobile network that could seriously facilitate a mobile connection to the internet. Now, while the technology might have been there in the early noughties to be able to create the world's first smartphone, what were we going to use it for? I mean, what couldn't wait until we get home? Oh. Yeah. Social media gave us a reason to be on the internet 24/7. And around the world, hackers and cyber criminals rejoiced as we freely uploaded huge amounts of personal data about ourselves and our families. Facebook was launched in 2004, and just 3 years later, the first iPhone was launched. And its iconic design became the template for all smartphones to come.
This is not a
watered down version of the internet. It's just the internet on your phone.
So there you have it, the story of my favourite bit of tech, the modern smartphone. It's revolutionised our lives, but at the same time it's made us even more vulnerable when we're online. But if we're sensible and use simple precautions like two-factor authentication, then we can surf the web on our mobile phones in complete safety. Oh.